Good afternoon and welcome to sunny Southside Indianapolis, Indiana for this afternoon's AUDL Midwest Division matchup between the Indianapolis AlleyCats and the visiting Cincinnati Revolution. Just 2 weeks ago, it was the AlleyCats who made the short trip down I-74 and stole a win from Cincinnati in a game that featured cold temperatures and hot tempers. Today, the Revolution look to return the favor as these two old rivals get set to grind out what will no doubt prove to be another tension-filled matchup. I'm Bird Phillips, and with me in the booth today is former AlleyCats player Steve Lacrosse, a.k.a. Meat. Great to have you join us today, Steve.
Great to be here.
Also with us here in the booth is our fearless leader, Keith Shanahan, who's working the production. And working our cameras today, we have John Abraham and J.C. Swartling. Today's stream is brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Health Zone Chiropractic. Enter the zone of peak performance and all-around great health. Disc Store, offering the best service and best price on ultimate gear guaranteed. Friction Gloves, helping your throws and catches in all conditions. Indiana Ultimate Foundation, supporting Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. BE Ultimate, ultimate players making ultimate gear for the ultimate community. And of course, the Indianapolis AlleyCats. Our starting lineups for today, as you can, for the AlleyCats, we have number 1, Keenan Plew, number 2, Rick Gross, number 3, Cameron Brock, number 5, Aaron Schwartz, number 6, Joey Carey, number 37, Travis Carpenter, and number 78, Michael Ames. And for the Cincinnati Revolution, we have number 10, Ian Collins, number 13, Kyle Romard, number 23, Xavier Payne, number 31, Matt Dilworth, number 38, Joe Mosloon, number 46, Isaac Jeffries, and number 76, Colin Grandin. So as you can see, they're working the starting lineups on the field right now. Steve, so last night, the Revolution traveled up to Chicago. Had a tough loss up there. Don't know what the actual final score was, but it was, I believe, more than 10.
Chicago won that one 27-19, Bird.
27-19.
It's a tough matchup for Cincinnati.
That was close, yeah.
As it is for a lot.
And we're going to pause for our national anthem.
All right, a beautiful rendition of our anthem there, and we are off to go here to the races. About the game today, obviously a lot of history with these guys. They've had a lot of games, but I'm certainly expecting this to be a highly contested game. It always is, seems like. Since he's playing that second game, like you mentioned, they're back-to-back games.
Yeah.
And
this is a short turnaround, too, because that was a late game, and this is a 4:30 game.
It really is. You know, there could be an advantage for the Cats, who had the day off yesterday with the light practice.
Yeah, definitely.
So they may very likely have some fresher legs. But you know what? In a game like this, a rivalry game, this magnitude, you can sometimes throw that all out the window because that this kind of energy always gives the guys a little bit more snap to the step and pops to their hops. So I don't expect to see too much of a letdown from Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a rough season so far this year. I don't believe they've won a game yet. But if there's one team in the league that they really want to beat, it's got to be the AlleyCats.
Well, the AlleyCats really, they represent the next notch up for them.
Yeah.
They've been down, this last 10 games that Indianapolis has beat them in. So they're really looking at us as that next level they want to get to. So it's really important for the Cats to come out here, take care of business, maintain their position in the division, and keep shooting their sights higher as well.
Yeah, I mean, is this kind of a game? Is this a tough game for the AlleyCats to get motivated for?
This is I think a game they like to have. I know that last game with Cincinnati, with the conditions as it was, with terrible, really strong winds.
Yeah.
And I'm sure both teams are much looking forward to this better weather to play today. And you know what? These guys like to go out there. They like to huck the disc. They like to make big Ds. And this is the kind of day where there should be a lot of scoring. I'm sure they're looking forward to it just on that merit alone.
Yeah, and you guys who are watching this on the stream, you cannot see how perfect it is out here. In mid-70s, the flag is hanging straight down.
I don't see a leaf blowing over there.
Yeah, here's our first pull from Cincinnati. It's going to be taken by Joey Carey.
Cats in a vertical stack.
Now Ames needs a little help. Carey, they're on a soft dump.
Got a lot of handers back to start here.
As Cam comes up, gets it to the far side.
Aaron Schwartz with the pull.
Now back to Brock in the middle. Brock's got that forehand. He's got Plu. Plu on the near side. He wanted a man down on that far cut. He gets Brock on the far side, or near sideline. And Brock's got a man in the corner, and just like that, AlleyCats up 1-0. And that was really smooth. They made that look very, very easy.
Cameron with a really nice forehand for the score. He's worked so hard on that throw that he's gotten it to be really reliable.
And that's Aaron Schwartz with the score, number 5. So Brock to Schwartz, and we're off and running here. And like we said, I mean, this is probably going to be a high-scoring game with how perfect this weather is, and they demonstrated it right there.
I guess real key for Cincinnati to stay with the Cats here, because the Cats are primed to go here, and Cincinnati Revolution better be ready. They got to put some points on the board.
Yeah, and they're going to have to be off and running. I mean, I know they just got off the bus, but obviously the AlleyCats are ready to go. So we'll see what the Revolution can do.
Yeah, sometimes when you're that road team and you don't go home, you're not coming from home that morning. You're all business because I believe they stayed in Chicago last night, so they've been in business mode, since they left for Chicago yesterday and arrived here today. So, they should be focused.
Yep. Here's a short pull from the AlleyCats, but it actually lands perfectly on the near sideline, and they are setting defense right away. And there's their first turnover.
Yeah, that double team, they weren't ready for it.
And nice tapped in by Ringwood, and right away there's Hutton with the score.
Number 12, Colin Ringwood.
So the AlleyCats right away get a score on offense and immediately get a break on defense, and they're up 2-0. And only 11:06, only less than a minute's passed in the first quarter.
And it's too bad we don't have the crazy bread anymore. I think we might get that in the first half here. We used to have, when I played a couple years ago, it was one of the real fun promotions where it was after 25 goals, I believe it was. If the home team scored 25, all the ticket holding fans would get crazy bread from Little Caesars. So that was always a fun thing, especially when the stands, once you hit that 25. But you know what? Let's hit 25 and see where it takes us.
How often did that happen?
A good handful of times.
Okay.
Enough times to keep people fed.
So now the Revolution back the other way. They're going from right to left. This has been Sever. Sever with the pass across the middle, and that was a sketchy catch. He gets it, and there's another turnover.
Nick the Quick Hutton with a sick D.
Keegan North with the drop. There's the hammer over the top, and it is too far. So the Revolution will take it back, and they'll tap it in on the goal line.
Over Wesley Cross head there. That's a little hard to read.
Now near side to Corey Hardesty. Gets it to the middle. Cincinnati working it through their handlers. Get it to the far side now. Looking down the sideline. Oh, layout D there.
Colin
Ringwood with the effort. And it is caught by Keegan North on the goal line. He's looking for a man, and he's got him. That was a nice play.
That was a hotly contested bid there.
Yeah, that was Eddie Mack with the score.
That.
So Keegan North to Eddie Mack, Cincinnati Revolution are on the board. You know, and we said, I mean, they're going to have to keep up, and that time they were able to do that. They had one turnover, but they got it right back. So now the AlleyCats take the walk.
Yeah, Cincinnati could not afford to go down 3-0 there. Not this quickly into the game.
Yeah, and that hammer by Nick Hutton just got away from him a little bit. That was a good opportunity. They had it down on the goal line. Just put it a little bit too far. And Cincinnati able to take advantage and come back the other way and get that score.
Yeah, he might want that one back. But I know he's got a great hammer. So, he'll make more of those than not.
10 minutes to go in the first quarter now. 2-1. AlleyCats leading Cincinnati. We'll see if they can pump that up to 3-1. Now this is Cox in the middle. He's got the forehand to Brock. Nice catch by Brock. Back to Ames. Ames finds Brock over the middle. Brock's making those middle cuts a lot more than he used to.
Yeah, they're forcing a away sideline, but Cats aren't getting a lot of great cuts to that area yet. Now they filled it up a bit too much.
Carry with the forehand to Plu. Plu looking downfield. He's got a man wide open. That is Cameron Brock with the score. So, yeah, there's a call that we've heard a lot on this team. Keenan Plu to Cameron Brock.
Yeah, Keenan with a nice IO forehand break.
We see the replay here. Carey gets it to Keenan. Keenan turns immediately. He knows where Brock's going to be, and that pops that forehand right down to the end zone. So the AlleyCats, just like that, up 3-1.
Yeah, those two have shared back and forth. It's got to be by the majority of Cats' goals and his score.
Yeah, so both possessions on offense now for the AlleyCats, and they've made it look easy. So the Revolution, maybe they have tired legs on defense. I wouldn't doubt it at all, considering they came from Chicago last night. But they got to work up some energy.
Well, in that drive too, they haven't been out of the van for more than an hour or so. So it's not unusual to expect they need to get stretched out a little bit and back in this game.
The high pull from the AlleyCats. Eddie Mack now on the far side. Puts it a little bit too long. The AlleyCats going to get another opportunity for a break. This is Carpenter. The AlleyCats swing it.
Nice movement all the way across the field there. It makes it really hard on the defense there when you're moving the disc so well in that handler zone.
Carpenter with a nice forehand underneath. Hutton looking downfield, has to dump. And the D-line being very patient, looking for this break. This is Granholm. Granholm swings the backhand back to the middle. There's Aaron Schwartz playing D now, and he's got a man in the end zone. I believe that's Nick Hutton on the far side with the score. So that's two breaks now for the AlleyCats, and they go up 4-1 with 8:30 to go in the first quarter.
Well, you could say Nick got the hammer turnover back by catching one. Nicely delivered by Aaron Schwartz.
So the AlleyCats taking the short jog down. Going to look for another break opportunity. Cincinnati has to get this rolling.
Expect that D to jump on them again. Might see some more double teams here. They do like to do that. They got a quick turnover the last possession down this way.
Yeah, and they were plagued. The first game these two teams played, they were plagued by turnovers, and I think a lot of that we thought was due to the weather conditions. But today, I mean, they're doing it again. You know, this team has struggled with turnovers. And you see right there a bit of a sketchy catch, and he puts it right on the ground. He did not have it man. I think he knew it. He puts it on the ground, and Sam's son gets banged. No call. He's got the forehand. That was, oh, wow. Levi Jacobs came up with that. I don't know how that happened.
That's a bonus there.
Yeah. And we have a call here. I think there was contact maybe on Carlton. I'm not sure.
That's just good concentration by Levi to follow that play, and it eked through Isaac and Peter Carlton.
Yeah, there was a big scrum there in the middle, and I don't know how he came up with that. He swings it to the near side. And there's Laskar. The forehand back to the far side. And once again, the defense being very patient. And there's a perfect throw to the end zone. Levi Jacobs strides that perfectly and comes down with it.
Samson with a really nice delivery.
Here we see the replay. We'll see this perfect throw from Samson. He gets that backhand, just swings it out over the out of bounds, brings it back in, and Levi Jacobs with the score. DiscStore.com is a proud supporter and sponsor of this broadcast. Pick up your next disc from DiscStore.com. DiscStore.com provides the best prices on team jerseys guaranteed. Ask about the AUDL discount at DiscStore.com.
Well, I think a lot of people expected to see this. With the AlleyCats bursting out of the gates. Cincinnati's not too happy about it. See if they can scratch back at least one goal here.
Yeah, the last game they played 2 weeks ago, these guys traded punches almost the entire first half. But today, the AlleyCats have just come out storming.
Yeah. Weather certainly had a lot of effect on that.
Here's
game.
Keegan North. He dumps it back. North, he's got the double team on him.
It's a really effective double team on the sideline like that.
Yeah, the AlleyCats have been working that double team quite a bit this year. There's the throw over the middle.
Rick Gross almost in for a D bid there.
Tim Settles gets it out of that double team. There's the throw down the sideline, and they're threatening. Hardesty dumps it back. There's the backhand to the near side.
Using that open space on the break side there.
Yeah, that was a nice find, Sever. Sets it again. AlleyCats D being very patient. There's a nice throw. Oh, he knocks it away.
Aaron Schwartz. Incredible
Schwartz.
play.
I thought he had that. I thought North had that all the way. And Aaron Schwartz comes out of nowhere. They did. They called a goal. Oh, they called a strip on that play.
You can see it pop up a little bit.
Yeah.
Usually when it reacts like that, that means there's a stoppage rotation on the offensive side, on the receiver side. So yeah, that may be a good call there.
Yeah, you couldn't really see it from that angle on the replay, but obviously the referees can see a little better than we can.
I wouldn't always agree with that.
Of course you wouldn't, as a former player, obviously not. So now Cincinnati brings it back to 5-2 with 6:28 to go. And they're going to look for their first break opportunity. There's the pump from Sam Schur, and it's a high one. Comes down on the near side. That was a nice pull. And Ames, plenty of time. Looks to set this up, gets it to Keenan Plew.
Bit of a gratuitous bid by Ian Collins there. He's actually
former
AlleyCat.
Yeah. Here's a big huck down the field.
A little floaty.
And he comes down with it, perfectly timed. That's Zach Zebarth. He had a great read on that.
That was a heck of a read. And that's just good body positioning, too, because Cincy D was right there to make a play.
Yeah, you can see the wind got that just a little bit. The wind just picked up some.
Floated a lot there.
Yep, and he worked himself perfectly under that. You saw him timing that out and come down with the score.
That's what you got to do sometimes. You have to adjust to the disc and make your thrower's job easy by getting those.
Don't just hope you're covered. When it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today. Visit infarmbureau.com for a free auto quote or to find your local Indianapolis area agent. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, stop knocking on wood.
As a cutter for most of my time playing, I always felt it was my job once the thrower put it up that I needed to come down with it. Because you want to have your throwers, confident in you, in your ability that makes it easier for them to get it down there. So that was a really good job by Zach to get not the best throw.
Yeah, and if you're gonna come down with those kind of throws, you're gonna get a lot of them coming your way.
That's a good way to encourage your throwers to get you. Yep,
that's right. Now Mosloom gets it over the top.
Isaac Jeffries with the double team now.
There's Kyle Romard. Back to Jeffries, and he swings it. Tim Settles works it down the far sideline.
Pretty well spread out by Cincy here. I got a look.
Yeah, and that was a great-looking offensive set by them.
Yeah, that was a much better flow.
Yeah. Yeah, so they bring that 6-3 now. They got, they have to keep working it like that if they want to stay in this game because they have done nothing to stop the AlleyCats thus far.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm sure the Cincy coach, Mike Walsh, is reminding them of their O-line of that they got to keep scoring and the D-line's got to get some breaks, some very hard-earned breaks.
Yeah, and the AlleyCats just seem really comfortable here. I mean, you can almost feel it coming from the field. They look completely relaxed so far on offense. And their defense has gotten some good breaks already too. So
yeah, Bert, I think we've answered the question that you asked earlier about possible letdown for the Cats game here on the Cats' behalf. That is, and I don't think I'm seeing it.
No, no worries about that so far. They came out ready to go.
They're juiced and ready to go.
Here's a low pull from Cincinnati. It's scooped by the AlleyCats, and there's Carpenter now has it. Looks like they have a little bit different lineup now on the O. And there's Plew in the middle. Yeah, so we have Carpenter out there.
Carpenter and Rick Gross, who they like to. They're one of the few players that play a lot of both sides of the disc.
Yeah, Gross being checked by C.J. O'Brien, and O'Brien could have a long day if Gross gets going. And they get it back to Carpenter.
Yeah, you don't want to wish that on your worst enemy.
Over to Plew on the near sideline. He's got Cameron Brock right there. He knew he was going to be there. That was really nice by Rick Gross, too, to take his guy out of that middle. Yes.
Just open that middle.
Yeah, you watch here.
For Cameron Brock.
Yep, he goes deep, and Cameron Brock cuts right underneath him. There's Gross, and there's Brock. Perfect set by the AlleyCats, and once again, Cincinnati has not been able to stop them thus far, and they pumped the score up 7-3. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Dr. John Rempel and Health Zone Chiropractic. Proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit us online at healthzonechiro.net. That's healthzonechiro.net. So the AlleyCats defense, once again, looking for a break here. It's going to be Nick Hutton with the pull this time.
Yeah, Nick's definitely one of the better pullers on this team with Travis Carpenter too. The young kids, but boy, they have huge guns.
Absolutely crushed that.
All the way to the end zone. Out of the back of the end zone, almost.
Here's Schuster. Schuster needs help. And that was a nice find. Here's Ryan Gorman.
He's got a lot of skill. He's good at those little dumpy throws.
Right, that was an excellent dump.
Finding the spots, close by.
Yep, and North with it now. He had a good game last night in Chicago, and he puts a huge, that was a great throw. It got a little floaty, but he had his man.
Isaac Jeffries teaching the kids how to do it.
Yeah, Isaac Jeffries with the score.
He's been around for a while. He's a very experienced player.
Yeah, so Cincinnati has the guys who can really play, but Thus far, you know, they've been struggling to keep up the AlleyCats. Score 7-4, 4:29 to go in the first quarter, and once again, just like last week when we had perfect weather against Madison, this game is flying.
Well, the Cats certainly are. The dis is.
Yes.
And so, yeah, we're seeing a lot of scores, just like we thought. Wind is picking up a little bit. I feel a little bit of breeze here.
Yeah, we're feeling it up here in the booth right now.
I think there's a little less probably on the field.
Yeah, sure, with a nice pull.
It's coming a bit right to left.
And Cox now has it in the center, looking for that forehand. He's got his man. There's Gross.
Cox, another one of the real experienced cogs of the Cats. Been around for a long time with Brock, Keenan, Cameron Brock, Keenan Blue, that is.
Brock back to Ames. Ames brings it to Gross on the near side. And Carpenter has yet to get going. Last week we called his name several times early in the game, and there's another throw from Cameron Brock. Perfect. Perfect to Aaron Schwartz in the back of the end zone. The AlleyCats pump it up 8-4 now.
Yes. Here's our replay. Just making it look easy.
Yeah, excellent patience there. And you know, you really have to appreciate, I keep saying this, but Cameron Brock, his throwing ability and his comfort level with the disc in his hand has improved so much. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Visit them online at indianaultimatefoundation.com.
Yeah, you mentioned Travis Carpenter. Their game with Madison. Him and Nick Hutton really had a clinic in the first half.
They really
making
did.
Some amazing layout Ds, catches, everything. Putting a lot of pressure on Madison. Made their life difficult.
And I think Carpenter played earlier that day. Heath, isn't that right? Yeah, he played at conference. It's Heath, our producer. And so, coming into that game, he had to be tired already, and he was just going.
To be young again.
Yes. Here's Keegan North, the forehand dump. There's Isaac Jeffries.
Good spacing here for Cincy. Not sure if they're trying a little junk zone here on the Cats. There's that almost triple T.
Yeah, that was a little close there. Gorman gets it out. Here's the forehand to the end zone and just out of reach.
Oh, he tries to stretch it out, but it was just beyond his reach there. Corey Hardesty.
And Hardesty has yet to get going today, too. He's another guy who I believe is leading the Revolution in scoring. So now the AlleyCats are going to mark this on the sidelines.
It's got a 5-cutter line up here, it looks like.
I didn't think it had gone out that quick, but there's the hand block. And now the Revolution going to bring it right back. Isaacs picks it up. And the double team comes, but he gets the dump. And he goes for the sky and knocks it away. And Levi Jacobs is going to pick it up.
Tim Settles, that's uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah.
Make that drop.
Yeah, he's going to want that back. So the AlleyCats with another break opportunity. Carlton.
Not sure if you heard Levi Jacobs' footsteps there. They're not very big feet.
There's a forehand to the near side. Loskar with the forehand. He puts it. Oh, my goodness. I was going to say that's going right to the ground, and I was wrong.
There did not look like there was enough air under that. But Nick the Quick Hutton there to make the play.
You see the replay, and Hutton, he had an incredible layout D last week. And here he shows he can do it on offense as well as he gets the score.
Spencer throws that with a little bit too much angle, but no matter for Mr. Hutton.
Yeah, Hutton making Loskar look good on that throw. AlleyCats up 9-4 now. Trying to get some stats here, and my screen isn't working. We have some stats now from Ultimate Analytics. Wanted to bring those to you, but our producer Heath's scrambling now to try and get that working.
Well, a few of the Cats have been stuffing the stat sheet so far, so They're going to like what they see.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want to see stats, today is the perfect day for it, so we got to be able to bring those. AlleyCats with the pull. And Ryan Gorman swings it to the near side. There's Moslum. And he puts it just out of the reach of Xavier Payne. And once again, AlleyCats get this at midfield.
Maybe should have took that look at Kyle Romer there.
Yeah, and they're coming right back. Nate Page got the forehand. He's got his man. And that's Aaron Schwartz once again in the end zone for the score. AlleyCats up 10-4 now with 1:31 to go in the first quarter. And right now we're looking at 40 for the AlleyCats if it continues this way.
Yeah, I hate to say it, you know, seeing some of the Cincy guys walk off the field, they look a little gassed. It's never easy starting a game out like this, but you know, you got to expect them to bounce back, and Cats got to keep the pressure up.
Yeah, and Aaron Schwartz now has, I believe, 3 goals.
All right, AlleyCat fans, if you're having fun, if you're getting excited, let's get pumped with this defense.
And he's a guy, you know, we didn't call his name a lot last week, but this week he's showing how valuable he can be. Here's Carlton with the pull. And again, it hangs, and it's deep. The Revolution center it. There's North on the far side. Nice catch. Gets the forehand out.
Moving up quick here.
Yeah, they've been working that far sideline well.
Yeah, it looks like Cats have been forcing that way most of the time. You know, they really need to fill that far side a little better with their D.
Yeah, and that hangs, and North knew he had no chance to get that, and he lets it go. And AlleyCats with another break opportunity.
Yeah, it's execution errors for Cincinnati now. They're just missing too many throws at this point.
Yeah, I'm sorry, there was a timeout. AlleyCats with the timeout now.
Timeout on the field.
So with 1 minute to go in the first quarter, it's 10-4 AlleyCats, and they're going to bring the O-line in and try and put this up to 11-4. And, you know, this game's quickly getting out of hand for the Revolution. So we'll see if they can come back and make this interesting.
Yeah, and for the Cats, you know, it's a focus issue. It's like I said, it's a focus issue. You know, you get up early in a game like this, and you know, you have a tendency sometimes to take the foot off the accelerator, maybe make some throws you don't normally make. So you gotta stay disciplined, keep to the offense that Coach Payne has put in here, and on the defensive side, you know, you just want to keep them down and keep running hard, and not give them an easy chance to get back in the game.
Yeah, and this is already a long game for the Revolution, and you know, hopefully they can come back and make this somewhat interesting. Otherwise, it's, you know, it could get ugly.
Let's see what they're made of, huh?
So the AlleyCats with 10 points now. Cameron Brock with 2 goals. Nick Hutton with 3. Levi Jacobs with 1. Aaron Schwartz with 2. And Zach Zebart with 1. See if they can add to that total right now. There's Carey with it in the end zone. He's going to swing it to the far side to Plew.
Joey going with the pants-free look today. He's looking quite free and ready to go.
I had to apologize to him last week about the pants.
The long pants, right?
Yes.
He looked a little warm, but yeah, that's Joey. He's just a fashionable guy.
That's right.
He's a very elegant person.
So now contact on Gross. He's going to step it off 10 yards. Quickly gets that forehand to Brock. And Brock has been dangerous today.
Yeah, to say the least. Tight throw there, but nice bid by Isaac Jeffries.
And aims right back to Brock for the score. 11-4 AlleyCats now. And once again, they have not been stopped on offense.
They are really, really executing well. You know, I think one of the keys to the Cats' success has been the continuity of their O-line. You know, you look down there, and like I mentioned before, you know, Keenan, Plew, and Cameron Brock, and Kyle Cox, there's there's been a lot of consistency year in, year out with those same guys, and that just pays off because you want an O-line that gels well together. You don't want a lot of rotation through that O-line, and you're seeing it working today.
Yep, and that was the second assist for Cameron Brock. And I think we mentioned last week that a couple years ago he had 12 assists on the year, and I think he's already eclipsed that this year.
I think he remembered that, yeah. I think he got a little upset and
yeah.
decided to learn how to throw even better.
Yeah, and I think, most guys who are really good, they find a way to evolve their game, and he's definitely done that. Here's a high pull from the AlleyCats, and it's going to sail out of bounds.
You learn after a while to save some of your energy. It's nice to throw scores instead of having to go catch them all.
That's right.
That's
right.
how my career kind of transformed itself, too, eventually.
Are you saying Brock's getting old? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I don't know what that would feel like. Who would I be to judge?
So now the Revolution bringing it back. Here's North within the center.
Nice spread of the field here for Cincinnati.
Now Schur's got a cannon. 5 seconds to go. And they look to the end zone. They got a man, and he catches it. Great catch.
Ryan Gorman, I believe that is.
Gorman's slow to get up.
It's good to be big.
Yes.
He took that. He took a pretty decent sized hit there.
And he's limping that off a little bit.
It was a nice close by, I think, Nate Page there for the D attempt. But just a fraction of a second too late.
Yep, here's the replay, and you can see the contact there at the end of that, but it's Gorman who comes down with the score. So that was a nice offensive set by them with the first quarter winding down, and 0.6 seconds to go now. The AlleyCats obviously just going to run this quarter out and take their 11-5 lead into the second quarter. And this is Schur with the pull. Offsides by Schur. So now the AlleyCats going to take this from the 50-yard line, and even with 0.6 seconds to go here in the first quarter, they're going to have an opportunity to
They might still be able to make some hay out of this.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be Cox.
This is when you like to see David Hortemiller, who's inactive today. Just doesn't quite get it up there.
Yeah, it doesn't get it up in the air enough, and it's knocked away by the Revolution. So that's the end of the first quarter. Fast and furious, at least for the AlleyCats. 11-5. They take the lead into the second quarter. And we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back in 90 seconds.
Hi, I'm Adam. And all my life, I've been considered a pretty lucky guy.
I'm House.
Ah, thanks. For starters, I get upgrades everywhere I go. And I just win things, like, all the time.
And the winner is this guy.
But you're not this lucky. No one is. So talk to a Farm Bureau agent today, because when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it.
So we're back with you now, getting ready for the second quarter. The AlleyCats huddling up on the field. I'm not sure what they're talking about right now, other than the fact that everything could not be going better. Revolution already out on the field.
think Drew Shepard had some words for the team there.
Yeah, this has to be encouraging for them. Like I said, the first time they played the Revolution, they really had to battle through that first half, and they had to get fired up for that second half before they could start to pull away. But today, they've been rolling, so we'll see if they can continue that trend.
Our mini cat in the neon green shirt is our winner! Green Monster, make sure you get a picture with him. Our camera's right down there. You can hand off his prize to him.
The AlleyCats bringing out the D. And Carpenter, I believe, is going to do the pull to start.
Dance manager, that kid is going places.
Hutton's got 3 goals.
And looks like he's going to put down a roller, and this worked very effectively at times for them last week against Madison.
Yeah, they tried to get the double team a lot with the disc rolling on the sideline. Didn't quite make it there, though.
And North puts it out to the far sideline. And Dan Schuster looking for help. He's got North.
Travis with a nice bid.
Travis with the bid, just not able to get there. They swing it to the near side. And North now on the near side. He's looking for a man, doesn't have any help right now. And he's going to need that dump. Throws the hammer over the top, and that's going to be caught.
Attempted bailout hammer throw and did not work out too well.
And Hutton squeezes it over the middle to Gross. Gross with the forehand. And Carpenter down the sideline. Ringwood now looking for Granholm. Granholm has the opportunity, puts it over the top, and he's got a man wide open. Rick Gross for the score. Good find by Granholm.
Little gypsy-do hammeroo there. Nice and easy to Gross, who's a good target, especially when he's wide open like that.
Yeah, Gross had nobody checking him there. We see the replay.
You might want to, remember his number.
And Granholm it looked like he saw him all the way. He was just waiting for him to get open. DiscStore.com is a proud supporter and sponsor of this broadcast. Pick up your next disc from DiscStore.com. DiscStore.com provides the best prices on team jerseys guaranteed. Ask about the AUDL discount at DiscStore.com. So the AlleyCats with another break, and they pump it up 12-5.
Exciting news, AlleyCats.
And they're going to have the pull and look for yet another break. And the offense, they haven't been on the field that much today.
And it glows.
And here's the pull to the far side.
Yeah, be curious to see how many breaks we got out of this so far.
And sure with it, he's going to bring that in. I believe it's a brick.
Speaking with Coach Payne, that is at practice yesterday, one thing they wanted to cut down on from Cincy was some of their hammers, especially from Sam Schur.
Yeah, he shows one right there. As soon as you say that, he puts one right over the top. He has a great hammer.
It's not the easiest throw to shut down even when you know it's coming.
And there was a forehand into the end zone. That's C.J. O'Brien with the score, and that was a nice set. That was a really nice set.
That was very good-looking offense in Cincinnati there. They need a few more of those. Yeah, obviously, they're capable.
They've cut the lead down to 6 now, 12-6. AlleyCats with the lead, and their offense going to come on the field.
Yeah, let's see if that pumps up the defense. As a D-line player, you definitely want your offense taking care of the distance, scoring, and keeping you in the game. And then that just pumps you up more to go out there and play harder D.
Yeah, and the Revolution have not shown that they can do anything to stop the AlleyCats.
Yeah, and just the Cats look really ready to go today. They're looking fast and strong, and that's the advantage of having one game less.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Back-to-backs, hard to play in sometimes.
And they come off a week where they had to play Madison, which is one of the best defenses in the league, and now you're facing a defense that's on a road trip, second game in 2 days.
Good point, yeah.
And, they just look so comfortable.
I think they got a lot of confidence that last week after playing Madison the way they did.
And that was Rick Gross, and he just powers a backhand to Keenan Plew in the end zone. And Plew made that look easy. Excellent throw by Rick Gross.
Just ripped it. Nice cut by Keenan.
Yeah, and Gross is another guy who's really improved his throwing in the past couple years, which is why we're seeing him on O. He's a guy who played defense when he started, and now he's on offense and defense. And you can see why right there.
Yeah, Rick not even a super comfortable thrower as a younger player. Not as comfortable within a year or two, but again, he's shown that he's worked on it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that was a very confident, easy throw right there.
AlleyCats like to say select physical therapy. Select physical therapy is the power of physical therapy. And Club Junior, the official club of the league.
I believe it's going to be Nick Hutton with the pole, turns the hat backwards. They put more effort into it, I guess. Sends a low one down. It's going to be scooped by Cincinnati, close to the goal line.
Doesn't quite get the air on it like he usually does there.
Sure, swings it to Gorman.
Gorman showing no ill effects from that little collision at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, he limped that off, but he's looking good now. And sure.
Oh, that's a nice comeback cut all the way.
And that was Nick Hutton with the bid, and he has some contact. And North is going to step this off.
Yeah, Keegan North there had a nice deep cut, brought him all the way back to the home side here for a nice gainer.
Yeah, I think Hutton thought he had a good chance at that and just made a little bit of a mistake when he came back. No, North complaining about not getting contact that time. And I'm not sure what's happening. Hutton laughing that off.
May not have whistled it in there properly, or I'm not sure Keegan North knew that the disc was in play yet.
And North retains possession.
Nice
Whatever happened, he retains
there.
possession, gets it to Schurer, and Schurer right away to the end zone, but it's dropped by Eddie Mack. And Schurer had a nice forehand. Mack just unable to come up with that.
Yeah, tough throw. A little bit of ease on it and from that short range.
Yeah, he
Those
probably
are sometimes
put that
hard to get a
little
read
far.
on.
Yeah, it may have been a little bit out of his range. Now the AlleyCats back the other way. There's a sharp forehand. And Levi Jacobs goes up for it. It's knocked away at the last second. That's Corey Hardesty.
That's just tough. Well, yeah, that's a tough size match for Levi Jacobs. He's given up a few inches there to Hardesty there.
Yeah, Hardesty's a big boy. And
really
there's North with it.
You really want to get those discs out when you have the speed advantage. You don't have the height advantage. You want to put those discs out a little further so he can outrun them too. Like Levi can outrun him to the disc.
Speaking of putting it out further, Keegan North puts it way down the field on that backhand. And Loskar gets it to Jacobs. And there's the forehand back to Jacobs. He goes up for it and gets it. And Gannett looking for some help, has Jacobs across the middle. Jacobs with the hammer into the corner. Oh, just out of the reach.
Just double bends, fades away from Spencer Loskar from Levi Jacobs there.
Timeout on the field, Cincinnati.
Timeout, Cincinnati Revolution. Was that Chris Gannett or was that Loskar who got dirty on that one? That was Loskar who got dirty on that. Don't just hope you're covered. When it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today. Visit infarmbureau.com for a free auto quote or to find your local Indianapolis area agent. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Yeah, Jacobs just needed a little bit more blade on that hammer.
Yeah.
And unfortunately turned over the last few feet there and just faded away from Loskar.
Yep, just out of bounds. Loskar made a great effort for it.
That was a great
to come
bid.
down with it. Yeah. And Loskar, he has no fear. He's a guy who will put his body on the line at any time. Just not able to come down with that one. So the AlleyCats still with the lead, 13-6. And things have slowed down a little bit here in the second quarter, but I don't know if they could get any faster than they were in that first
It's hard
quarter.
to maintain a momentum like that, how we started, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they can put it on cruise control a little bit right now, but 8 minutes to go here in this second quarter. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Dr. John Rimple and Health Zone Chiropractic. Proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit us online at healthzonecairo.net. That's healthzonechiro.net. Yeah, and it's funny. I don't know if it's the weather or what, but both of these teams just seem really relaxed right now.
Well, Cincinnati's probably happy with that because they were having trouble matching the pace of the Cats, but here they go now. They're not slowing down right there. A lot of areas for them to move here. They're very spread out, and look at this.
And there's the score.
That's their easiest point of the game right there.
Yeah,
that was very well executed.
That's Kyle Romard with the score, and we see Danny Koo had played a big role in that point. He ran that down the near sideline, and like I said, it was Kyle Romard with the score.
Yeah, the defense for the AlleyCats just never quite got set there.
Yeah, nice forehand by Tim Settles into the end zone that time. So now they got 7 points. They cut it 13-7, down by 6. And, when you're down by 6 in the second quarter, how do they feel about this? Are they out of this?
They're never out of it. No, you never want to consider yourself out of any game. And, of course we know that there's going to be ups and downs of the game. Everyone's going to have their runs. Cincinnati they're not done fighting in this game.
Yeah.
So they're making their best efforts, and the Cats, like you keep saying, got to keep that defense consistency up and the intensity. So first off here though, let's see the O-line if they can take care of business for the Cats.
Here's Cox, wants that forehand, pitches the backhand to Plu to the near side. There's Schwartz again.
A little bit of German offense there with Keenan as the center ISO.
This is Carey now with the hat. A little bright out there for him today. And Plu swings that elbow across the face. And Brock to the end zone. He's got his man. There's Carpenter. First time we've called his name today, and that was another great throw from Cameron Brock to the end zone.
He started hot, and he's staying sharp.
We see the replay. Here's Brock gets it in the center, and he sees Carpenter all the way. And Carpenter
Keenan to Travis, or Keenan to Brock to Carpenter. It's a nice little set.
Yep, Carpenter gets his first goal of the game. Puts it up 14-7 now for the AlleyCats. And once again, they're still rolling. I don't believe Cincinnati has gotten a D the entire day so far.
They have not been able to force many errors now. And that's how you get your breaks. And when you're down like this, you absolutely have to get the breaks. And it's the perfect storm. If your offense is getting broken and your defense is not getting breaks, that's going to make it hard to stay in the game.
Yeah, that's right. And Gorman scoops this. And Revolution going to see if they can score again like they did the last time. Here's North with it. We've been calling him his name a lot.
Holds that deep shot in. He might have had
Yeah, he wanted that.
The cutter sort of peeled his cut off, though.
I don't know if he thought about that after throwing that long the last time.
And maybe for the best.
Yeah. And Mack lays out for the dump, and he gets it.
Eddie Mack, sweet grab.
It is knocked away.
Nope.
And Levi Jacobs, I believe he contacted that, and he has a forehand right away to Gross in the end zone. He's streaking. He's got it. Great throw from Levi Jacobs to Rick Gross for the score.
Rick, Sick, and Gross.
Rick Gross really showing off his speed that time, and I think Jacobs knew who he had.
He just took off to the races there.
Yeah, he knew he could put that deep, and he knew Gross would go get that. We'll see the D from Levi here in the replay. We'll see if he made contact with this. I'm not sure if he touched that or if
I'm gonna think he did. It's hard to tell from that replay. Honestly, it looked more like he did from the. Yeah, Gross is just untouchable there.
Yeah, that pigeon-toed run that he has, he just bombs down the field.
That's one quick pigeon.
That's right. So the AlleyCats 15-7, 6:38 to go in the second quarter. And they're going to see if they can get yet another break opportunity. This has been a great day for the defense thus far.
The last few points of Cincinnati, I think their offense has been looking a little better. I think they've spread it out a bit more. I'm not sure if the AlleyCats have been doing anything different. They haven't used a lot of double teams lately.
When the AlleyCats, as soon as they get it on D, though, I mean, they've made those breaks so easily.
Mm-hmm. The offensive performance of their D-line has been very good.
Yeah, they've been super smooth and clean with it so far. Here's Moslum.
Yeah, Cincinnati's just better spread out here.
Colin Grandin now to Kyle Romard. Romard looking for the dump. And Isaac Jeffries had to go get that one. Sends it back. And AlleyCats bringing the double team now.
There it is.
And Jeffries with the...
But he gets out of it easily.
Yeah, he goes into the soft spot. And we have a whistle. And didn't see what happened.
The official in the end zone.
And he called something.
Called possibly a hold or something on one of the cutters back there.
And Jeffries marks it off 10 steps. 10 yards, that is. And Revolution threatening now. And they bring it to the far side. Oh, wow.
Near dangerous play there, but that was a good bid.
Yeah.
They're both up safe and healthy there.
Maybe a little contact on that one. Yeah, they bring it to the middle of the field now because it was within 10 yards of the end zone. So they're going to mark it on the goal line.
It was a nice bid by Zach Zebart there.
Gorman has it on the far side. And the AlleyCats did a good job to stop that, but there's the score right away. And that's, you get that on the goal line, and that is difficult to defend.
Now, this is a different Cincinnati team right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they looked a lot better here in the second quarter on offense.
They look a lot more confident in their throws, and I think the Cats were forcing them into some more difficult throws earlier.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Visit them online at indianaultimatefoundation.com. So now 5:11 to go here in the second quarter. Indy with a very comfortable lead, 15-8 over the Cincinnati Revolution. And right now they're just padding their stats, wouldn't you say?
It looks like it, yeah. Well, you know, they're both having fun. This is kind of what we wanted to see. We knew the AlleyCats weren't going to be able to put up that first quarter, you know, consistently all the way through the game. And, you know, here we see Cincinnati, you know, hanging in there and answering back.
Yeah, and the AlleyCats, this is their third game of the season. That first game was just a sloppy mess because of the weather mostly there in Cincinnati. And there's the first D of the game, I believe, by Cincinnati.
That was a nice play by C.J. O'Brien there from the Revolution there. He came up from the deep spot and looked like Brock tried to milk that just a little bit. Well, there's a nice grab.
Yeah, and then O'Brien gave it right back. Rick Gross with an excellent catch. They send it back to Cox. And Cox to the near side. There's Joey Carey. He's got his man, and there it is. That's Keenan Plew in the end zone for the score. Great find from Joey Carey. He made that look easy.
Nicely done there, guys. Right on for the AlleyCats there. Joey Carey from Anderson College.
Yeah, I believe he's the head coach of Indiana Wesleyan too, right?
Yeah, he's been pretty active.
Yeah, Indiana Wesleyan is a D3 school, and they have nationals aspirations this year. They've been an excellent school now for quite a long time. I believe Carpenter was on their team for several years. Still is on the team, but gosh, he's been in college for a long time, hasn't he? Our producer Heath is laughing. Seriously, he's like 30 years old.
Sounds like the 9-year plan I was on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So he was on the AlleyCats the first. Heath is filling me in now. He was on the AlleyCats the first year when he was in high school, and so I guess it makes sense that he's still in college. He's going to be a doctor when he gets done. The Revolution now within the middle of the field, and they swing it to the near side. This is Gorman. I'm sorry, that's Hardesty.
Since he passes up possibly another deep look, depends. Not sure if Hardesty has that big throw, but they have not put it too deep today at all.
Yeah, we have not seen any deep throws. Here's a pretty far throw to the near side and just not able to get it, and he is down. You could tell he came down on that shoulder.
That's a tough throw. Throw it nearly 53 yards across the entire field there.
Yeah, and we do not want to see not want to see Hardesty out of this. Last night they played in Chicago, and here to see the replay. Hardesty goes down and gets it and comes down on that shoulder. Boy, I hope that is not dislocated. And he's walking that off. And that arm is hanging. Last night, the Revolution played in Chicago, and a David Valentine Elam got injured on one of their handlers got injured on the first play of the game. So they have been shorthanded almost every game this year.
Yeah,
Granholm now with it.
DB, former Cat as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Former Indianapolis resident from Columbus, I believe, originally.
So we hope he is able to recover from that injury without too much trouble.
Well, you know, he was looking forward to playing here, too, with all the friends he's got.
Yeah, that's right. Coming back. Well, not back
that's
home.
just real unfortunate, but I don't think he's going to be out too long.
Levi Jacobs to Granholm over the top. Granholm had two guys from the Revolution coming for him, but that was just a perfect throw from Levi Jacobs. And Granholm gets his first score of the game. And he's another guy, you know, Granholm, I was at the AlleyCats practice a couple weeks ago, and he's another guy who has a lot of speed. Didn't really need it right there, though, because Levi Jacobs able to find him wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, that's a nice break there by the D-line.
Yeah.
Good O score.
So 3:20 to go now in the second quarter. AlleyCats up 17-8. I'm trying to figure this out. They are on pace for 40 still.
Yeah, they sure are.
I'm not very good at math, but I think I can add that up.
I think we might need an insane bread for that promotion.
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of crazy bread if that happens. Here's Carpenter with the pull. And it's high, going to float right around the goal line. And taken by Schur.
The Cats are definitely rotating their lineups around here a lot. You see Samson out. You see Travis, Aaron Schwartz, Rick Gross, who all play a lot of O, starting on the D-line here.
Oh, and that was Grandin who turned it over, and Carpenter wanted that backhand to the end zone just out of bounds. And you can see he threw his hands up there. I think that was Nate Page who went for that. And the AlleyCats come right back with a double team. Nice hammer over the top.
Both teams have had a lot of those just on the sideline where the receivers are stretching out and just can't connect.
There's he makes the catch.
Literally another one right there.
Excellent effort, great catch.
That was great hands.
Yeah, and that was O'Brien once again. Just out of bounds, though. So Schwartz brings it in, and we have a whistle.
Yeah, they're calling the disc up at the 42 there.
They're going to remark where that came in. He's going to get it not quite to midfield. And Schwartz wants that forehand down the sideline, but he's going to have to dump it. Gets it over the top. Samsung with a great catch on the far side.
Yes, that's a nice grab. That's not an easy completion there.
Huge forehand to Rick Gross, and he's got it for the score yet again.
Shut the front door. Rick's out of control again.
And that was an excellent forehand. Heath, tell me who that was. Who threw that? He needs credit.
Is that Aaron Schwartz? No, oh, no, he's...
And we're going to find that out for you. With that, we know that was Rick Gross with the score. Now the AlleyCats up 18-8. 10-point lead with 1:54 to go here in the second quarter. And the Revolution, they got to get something rolling.
I think that might have been Nate Page with that throw. Yeah, he's getting some high fives on the sideline there from that nice delivery.
Yeah, Mr. Page, we have to give you credit for that. We had to find out who that was because that was an excellent forehand down to Rick Gross. And once again, you know, guys see Rick Gross on the run, and they know they can put that out there, and he's going to go get it.
Against Minnesota, the Green Monster will be heading down in just a minute. 5 participants will be down in front of the orange banner.
The pull from the AlleyCats, and it's a short one. The Revolution going to get good field position. And they swing it to the far side. Keegan North, it's a nice grab that time to save that one. And Ben Sever, he's got Gorman.
Movement right back up here.
Good movement by Cincinnati. And there's the hammer over the top to a wide open Tim Settles for the score.
Yeah, what you're seeing is the Cincy has gotten their offense. I think they've kind of calmed down a little bit,
Yeah.
relaxed, and gotten in their groove. But what they just can't stop is the AlleyCats offense.
Yeah, I mean their offense. They've settled down. They've shown some good points here in the second quarter, but they're going to have a hard time keeping up with the AlleyCats offense right now.
And that's really where you show the ill effects of a back-to-back game,
definitely.
where their defense against a quick. There's just so many athletes out here in this AUDL that it's that's a tougher job. You expect your O-line to be able to execute regardless, but keep up with a team like the Cats today is proven difficult.
Yeah. And Revolution, like I said, I believe they've only had one D on the day, and that D they turned it over right away. So not able to take advantage of that.
Probably the first forced D.
Yeah. So Cox gets it to Plu. Plu wanted that
wisely
forehand.
chooses to not let that throw go.
Thought better of that. Now Cox has it on the near sideline. And he's got Brock.
Stretching deep.
Yep, that was a good find by Cox to get Brock. And Ames was nearly on the ground. Gets up and catches that and has a forehand to Plu.
Ames, the Ohio native.
AlleyCats very patient. And, of course, they can afford to be at this point in the game. And Brock easily with the backhand to the score, and that's Joey Carey with his first score of the game. I believe maybe his first score of the season. I know he didn't score last week, but it's good to see him in the end zone. He's a guy who suffered a lot of injuries and missed the entire season last year. He's been doing a lot of handling work this year, so it's good to see him in the end zone.
Yeah, he was battling some lower feet, Achilles injuries for quite a while, and
had a nagging Achilles injury and just couldn't keep up with it. He needed a year off to heal, and it's great to have him back.
Well, Carey works really hard. He's got a great motor, and that's why he used to be I think a couple years ago he was more of a D-line player.
Yeah.
But they've switched him over to the O-line just because of that motor, and he never stops running. Him and Keenan out there at the same time, it's just really a matchup nightmare.
Yeah, he never stops smiling.
Right?
Yeah, he's
that we love so much.
So 30 seconds to go in the first half, and Cincinnati trying to keep this under double figures. Gorman now with it on the near side. Plenty of time. Now being checked by Ringwood. And here's North on the far side. And there's a big hammer over the top to Gorman. Nice find, Gorman.
Big nasty hammer to the open side.
And that is knocked away by Hutton. And we have another injury.
Is that Gorman? No, that's.
And we're trying to see
Cincy
who.
Player down as Gorman's walking over to him.
Yeah, he went down hard.
It's like an awkward bid for the disc there.
Yeah, so we saw Hardesty go down on that.
Grandin, 76.
Yeah, that's Grandin. That's number 76. And he gets up pretty quickly, so hopefully he's okay. And I believe Cincinnati already lost Corey Hardesty. We haven't seen him back on the field. You know what? I think I'm wrong. There he is. Yeah, he's in the center of the field, so he's okay. And that's great to see because he came down on that arm really hard.
Yeah, these fields aren't the softest thing to land on.
Yeah, it's not quite like playing on grass on these turf fields.
But when you see the disc up in the air, that's not really what you're thinking of as you're landing.
Yeah.
Players like this, they're hungry to catch that disc regardless. You worry about the bruises later.
Yeah. Highlights first, recovery later, right?
You got it.
Ames going to check it in on the goal line. He's being checked by Sam Schurer. There's a big lefty forehand.
Just got enough to get down there.
Nope, it's going to float. And that is the end of the first half, and it was a great one for the Indy AlleyCats. 19-9, they take the lead into halftime. And, you know, the's not much else you can say about that. I mean, that was pretty much picture perfect for the AlleyCats.
It really was. That's the start they wanted to get. Start out fast, and they kept the momentum up pretty well. The D to not necessarily the discredit of the AlleyCats, the Cincinnati Revolution just started playing better. You know, they spread the field out a bit more, and they started making some smarter throws and better execution. So it was inevitable that they were going to make a little run and get some points, get their offense finally going, and they did. But the Cats are just hard to keep up with today.
Yeah, I mean, they have 15 minutes now before the second half, and they have to figure out some way to stop that Indy AlleyCats offense because they just have not been able to do it thus far today.
No.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back.
Hi, I'm Adam. And all my life, I've been considered a pretty lucky guy.
On the house.
Ah, thanks. For starters, I get upgrades everywhere I go. And I just win things, like, all the time.
And the winner is this guy.
But you're not this lucky. No one is. So talk to a Farm Bureau agent today, because when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it.
All right, this is Scott O'Brien here, and I'm with Jared Grady Payne, the head coach of the Indianapolis AlleyCats. And we're going to give you a little bit of insight on how the team's doing so far this game. What do you think you guys are going to do going forward for the second half to keep the pressure on and really keep things rolling in your guys' direction?
Yeah, we'd like to continue our solid level of play from the first half, mostly consistent on O&D. Made a few mistakes, but definitely less than the other team, so that's a positive. Today we've kind of set goals per quarter, things we'd like to do on O&D, so regardless of the scoreboard at any point in time, we want to be successful with those. So things like marking effectively and making sure that we're sprinting hard and transitions, things like that that are just going to make us effective all game.
No, that's good. And then with your offense, is there anything in particular that seems to be working really well, or you think your guys' team is just a little bit more superior, maybe better in shape?
Well, I think we are definitely running as hard as we can. I think one thing we've done better than the last 2 weeks is really set up our cuts on offense, so not just be standing still and try to run underneath and catch the disc for 10 yards, but really setting up those deeps to get big unders and trying to throw under a lot. If we continue to get open a lot, then we don't need to take high-risk decisions on offense, and that's definitely what we prefer.
Okay, and do you think anything with them having a game yesterday is affecting their play today?
I think it definitely should. It looks like it is. With them having a game yesterday, I don't know what the weather was like here, but this is abnormally warm for April, so it probably has an impact on them. And so I think the more that we can really make them work hard on both sides of the disc, run as hard as we can with all 19 fresh guys we have, the more we can try to wear them out throughout the game, which is our goal as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think with the weather last game, how it was super cold, super wet, is definitely helping out for today. I think it's making more of our guys kind of viable throwers, or at least giving us more consistent throws upfield, and just all around, just making it a lot easier for everybody. So who do you think offensively has been, better for you guys today?
Well, like I said, I think all of our cutters are doing a really good job of not only running at the high intensity we expect, but timing their cuts and setting up to get the disc. But honestly, our handlers have been really consistent today. They're completing almost all their passes. They're making smart decisions. They're moving well without the disc. And so really on offense, most of the points we've had 7 guys executing the way we want, which is great.
Okay. And then defensively, is there anything that you're seeing defensively that you guys are going to try to keep doing second half?
Well, we like to put them, in tough situations when we can. There's really not much wind at all today, so while we'll run some junky stuff at times, we really do want to, focus in on winning one-on-one matchups so that the thrower doesn't see someone open very often so we can get more blocks.
Yeah. And so with this being a rivalry between you guys and I-74, and with you guys winning consistently, does it feel like almost like a big brother, little brother, to where maybe this second half they're not going to go away, that they're going to keep on battling? You think you'll see them come out with some fire this second half? Yeah,
I think based on past matchups, we expect them to never let down. I think kind of similar, we're going to focus on our goals. I don't expect them to let up at all. Even if they're a little bit tired, it really doesn't matter. They want to beat us really bad every point they're on the field, and so got to compete well to make sure we score as much as we should.
Okay, and I'm going to bring in Drew Shepard, the defensive assistant coach for the AlleyCats. And Jared Payne and I touched on earlier about just kind of the weather from last week and even just the game from last week. I'm going to switch it over to you and get a little bit more insight. Defensively, is there anything that you guys feel like you're doing that's really putting pressure on them to force turnovers, or do you think it's maybe something from them having a game yesterday that's having them have the turnovers?
Definitely a combination of both, I'm sure. I think the biggest difference between today and last time we played them is just conversion for us. Wind was hard for our D-line in the first game. If I had to remember, I'd say we were in the 30 or 40% range in terms of converting. And today we're 10 of 14 in the first half, which I think puts us somewhere in the 70% range. So, we're playing better defense. We're getting around on those marks a lot more aggressively than we did in the first game, which we want to do, and that's causing some high stall throwaways for us. So we're earning some Ds. We're happy with that. I think we're just converting better, and that's probably the biggest difference for us so far.
Okay, and I'm going to throw you a question here. Looking back at the Madison game last week, is there anything differently that you guys did or that you guys are doing this week that you weren't doing last week against Madison that you think will help you guys better against Madison next time?
Definitely. One thing we came away from last weekend with was a commitment to having a higher percentage as a team for anything over 30 yards. We didn't give them any easy Ds, Madison that is, underneath last week, but we gave them too many 50-50 balls, which they took advantage of deep. So commitment for us this week was to be 90% as a team for anything over 30 yards. Right now I think we're somewhere around 3 for 4. Nick had one boost. That probably was a poor decision, so that puts us 75%. But definitely as a team, we're working on good decision-making when it comes to the deep throws, and we're not giving them easy possessions.
Okay, that's Drew Shepard, the defensive coordinator, assistant coach, a little bit of everything, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Adam. And all my life, I've been considered a pretty lucky guy.
On the house.
Ah, thanks. For starters, I get upgrades everywhere I go. And I just win things, like, all the time.
And the winner is this guy.
But you're not this lucky. No one is. So talk to a Farm Bureau agent today, because when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it.
That was great stuff from Scott O'Brien on the sideline. As always, Scott is a man who knows pretty much everything about this team and about Ultimate. And if you are a stats geek and you are an AlleyCats fan, you have a lot of stuff to look at today. First half looks like the stats for an entire game. Cameron Brock with 3 goals, Rick Gross, Nick Hutton also with 3 goals, and Aaron Schwartz with 3 goals, Keenan Plew with 2. And Brock with 4 assists as well in that first half. Huge first half from Cameron Brock. Levi Jacobs with 3 assists. Nick Page with 2, and Keenan Plew with 2 as well. So, I mean, you know, we talked about this a little bit in the first half. The AlleyCats just hitting on all cylinders right now, and it's being led by Cameron Brock.
Well, they're the most experienced players are really leading the way with some nice help from Rick Gross, who's scoring just great today. Nick Hutton.
Yeah, and their defense as well has been excellent. We have, I'm trying to see, Groth with a D, Hutton with a D, and Levi Jacobs with a D. So only 3 Ds, but a lot of forced turnovers. So I don't know, that number's not really representing the effort.
I think there's a lot of pressured turnovers there that aren't quite showing up as force because we've really been, the AlleyCats have really been all over them.
Yeah, so maybe the Revolution not quite the legs that they need to keep up with the AlleyCats today. We've got about 15 seconds to go, and we're going to start this second half, and we'll see what the Revolution can do to keep this game interesting. That the first quarter, it really got out of hand really fast. Second quarter, they were able to make a little bit of a game of it, and now we'll see. It feels like the wind is picking up a little bit. See
you
what
can
they
definitely
can
feel
do
it in the booth up here, yeah. It doesn't look like there's too much still on the field, but we'll see. Yeah, the thing I'm looking for this half is obviously the continued dominance of the O-line, and they maintain that crispness to their execution. Like Coach Payne said, the decision making, they want to keep that sound. And then maybe if they keep this lead, we could see some other people worked in the rotation, as we did more in the second quarter there, to give some of the younger players a chance on, probably both sides.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens with this margin.
Yeah, is there anything the Revolution can do to,
sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to say stop the AlleyCats on offense because I don't think that's possible today, but at least to get a few Ds and a couple breaks, put some points together and get back into this.
Yeah, the first thing they need to do is, it starts with offense. They got to execute their offense the same way we have to. You can't get caught up in the score too much. Sometimes you like to think of it of playing a game to one, blah blah blah. Score is 0-0. Last point.
Yeah, all the
was
cliches,
last point, right? And then just focus on going out there, even if you've made a couple turnovers or something. It's just all about smart execution and smart ultimate.
Yeah, and we talked about giving the younger guys an opportunity. Now we see Sam Sun is starting with the O-line here in the second half.
Yep, former Hoosier, IU Hoosier player.
Yeah, here's
really
Gross.
Sound offensive player. Former captain down there.
Gross finds Plu on the near side. Plu has to dump it back to Ames.
That's the right thing to do, get it out of that corner.
Ames with a great find to Joey Carey. And Joey Carey with the second goal of the day. Ames, I believe, with his second assist as well.
Joey Carey!
See the replay here. Ames with a nice, easy find. He was looking for that dump, turns around, finds Carey streaking across the goal line, and Carey gets the score on the near side.
Yeah, Michael Ames is a really nice reset player back there in that handler position. Interesting enough, at Cats practice yesterday, he felt it was important to let everybody know he's single again, which doesn't come as a surprise at all to anybody who's ever spent any time with him.
I'm just going to leave that right there. I'm not going to dig into that at all. All I'm going to say is that was a great assist on his part. He's a guy who doesn't get a lot of assists because he's handling the disc mostly in the back, but that time he finds Joey Carey for the score.
He's got to get fired up,
The pull comes down. That was a great pull. Comes down on the far sideline, and Granholm right up to the mark. And Revolution put it on the ground.
You can see the Cats right away. We're a little closer to the guys there, a little bit more pressure to start this second half.
Now Jacobs gets that backhand. Ooh, sneaky. Ringwood. And he wants that forehand. He needs help. And he's got it. Here's Hutton right back to him.
Cats are stalling a little bit here. Peter Carlton with a nice cutout.
And Carlton's got his man in the end zone for the score, and immediately the AlleyCats, two quick scores, one from the O-line, one from the D-line, 10:44 to go, and it's up to 21-9.
And just a brief little clogging there or lack of cuts on the handlers there, but they worked themselves out of it. Peter Carlton really kind of dug them out of that.
Yeah, I mean, the D-line has shown great patience in these situations. I mean, they have not missed too many break opportunities. I mean, they really haven't.
They've been doing it with a lot of guys, too, a lot of different players.
DiscStore.com is a proud supporter and sponsor of this broadcast. Pick up your next disc from DiscStore.com. DiscStore.com provides the best prices on team jerseys guaranteed. Ask about the AUDL discount at DiscStore.com. Here comes the pull from Carpenter. And it started off low, but it sails nicely down to the end zone. And here's... keep wanting to say his last name is Isaacs. It's Isaac Jeffries. Sorry about that, Isaac, if you ever watch this replay. And Granholm now. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan Gorman gets that forehand back to Isaacs. Again, I'm just gonna do that this whole game. I don't have anything else to do. Jeffries puts it on the ground.
He's a generous guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't hold grudges.
I'm just, there's just a continuous apology there. It's just like the Loscar thing. I always call him Loscar.
I'm sure Isaac's just happy that you're calling him at all.
No, maybe not on that because it was a turnover. And here's Sam Sun with it now, looking for the break for the AlleyCats. Again, there's Rick Gross, and he goes down to get it, and he can't quite catch that, and it rolls out of bounds. Gross looking for another highlight move there.
Kind of a difficult throw there, throwing that little softer forehand. I think it was a little bit of a crosswind, it looks like, down there now.
So Settles
gets it. Very touch throw.
Gets it to Schuster. Schuster now to Jeffries. I got his name right. Jeffries looking for that forehand.
And Isaac Jeffries definitely has that throw. again, though, they really have not wanted to throw deep very much.
No, they really haven't. They've been settling for those short throws, and it's been working since the second quarter. They've been doing quite a bit better.
I don't know it's by design or just their typical but
there's contact from Carlton, but no call. Jeffries goes down to get it, not too close, and there's the big backhand from the AlleyCats, and that was Z-Bar, and he's got Rick Gross, and we've seen that like 3 times now, where he just runs under it in the end of the end zone.
Yeah, that was a real nice confident delivery by Z-Bart there. Former Colorado player living in Chicago now, should be moving down to Indianapolis here soon.
And Rick Gross with his 4th goal of the game, and that pushes it up to 22-9 for the AlleyCats, and they are rolling with 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
They have some nice new players here for the Cats. Yeah, there's a lot of new blood that have been interesting to watch, see a little bit more of today.
Yeah, this starts just the second half starts just like the first half started. The AlleyCats 3 quick scores, and Revolution, they need to get on the board here in the second half.
Yeah, Zach Seabarth is one of them. Wesley Groth. We saw a little bit of in the first half. John Jones, unfortunately, got injured in the warm-ups today, so we're not going to see him.
Yeah, I was going to say we haven't seen him at all today, and he's a guy who's incredibly fast. He had some huge Ds last week.
Really athletic. Now we see the double team here now, back with the Cats.
And here's Ringwood on the mark.
Stretching across the field.
I'm sorry, that was Collins on the mark. And there's a big forehand down the field. It looks like it's in the right place. Nope, it's going to sail out of bounds. Oh, my gosh, what an amazing effort. And it is. He gets the goal. Wow, I thought he was out of bounds on that, but he ran under that.
The tiniest possible corner, he caught that.
Oh, my gosh.
The last blade of turf, he caught that.
He dragged the toe, I think. We'll see the replay on that, see where he came in. Look at that. He's not even close to it. Goes under it, and oh, my God.
That left foot just barely down.
Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty close. I think I saw some white under that toe.
Hard to see from here, but
he gets credit for it, and they call the goal on that. And, you almost have to give that to him either way.
I hate to say it, you got to trust the ref on that call. He was a little closer, and, A for effort regardless.
So the Revolution now with 10 points, and they cut it to 12. And, once again, they make a great replay or a great play like that, big highlight play, but they have to do something on defense.
They got to do something on defense, and, at this point, regardless of what the final score is going to be, the final outcome, they got to keep playing their game. And take something away from this so they can build on. And maybe stretching it deep, excuse me there, Bird. Maybe stretching it deep is a possible remedy for them to, get their offense flowing better.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of that today, and that time it worked. They're going to have to take those shots down the field if they want to get a chance to get back in this game.
Yeah, you make a few deep cuts like that, and you have to respect that deep cut, and that makes the in cuts even easier to get in.
Yeah, that's a great way to open up the field, obviously. And now we see Plew with it. Has to dump it back.
There.
Yeah, gets it to Cox.
Can't make the swing over, though.
Cox gets the dump back to Carey. Carey
could be one more.
Yep. Oh, I called. He swings it to the far side. He faked me out. Gets it back to Cox.
He might be trying to work it specifically on this far side here. Nice break by Aaron Schwartz there.
That was a good catch by Carpenter. He goes to the ground to get it.
There's the big power swing and the finish.
Plew's got his man in the end zone. That's Cameron Brocco has to go down to get it. And he has the score. Great put from Keenan Plew on that.
That may be the closest they've come to missing a connection right there.
Yeah, you see the replay here. Plew saw him coming. Yep, great go-get by Cameron Brock to get that score. Don't just hope you're covered. When it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today. Visit infarmbureau.com for a free auto quote or to find your local Indianapolis area agent. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, stop knocking on wood.
So, like I was saying, for Cincinnati here, when their O-line's getting the disc, it just comes down to running their plan. If they're not that worried about the score right now, I'm sure they're not giving up, but They have to just go in and build some confidence and keep the disc moving.
Yeah, and that puts the pressure on them, though, when their defense is getting rolled like they are today. I mean, they can't afford those turnovers.
Right. Skittles there cutting across the field.
And there's Mack. Gets it back to Settles. And the patience from the Revolution trying to make this pay off.
Yeah, showing much better patience here.
Once again, though, you know, we said they're going to have to take some chances.
Levi Jacobs with a great bid.
And some confusion there. We have some contact from 2 Revolution players, but he comes up with it. There's Jeffries. Jeffries to the end zone, and he has his man. And that's Ben Sever with the score. Jeffries to Sever. And Revolution, they finally get things rolling here. They have 2 goals in the third quarter. And the score is 23-11, AlleyCats, with 7:05 to go.
That good quality offense.
I see the replay from Jeffries now, and that one, he made that look easy. And, you know, they were, once again, that seems to be what they want to do. They want to roll it down the field, not take those big strikes, you know, just be patient, get those dumps, and find a man in the end zone, and that time it worked.
That's their script for sure today, and they're following it pretty well. I think just the problem they had earlier in the game was just some execution problems, but you can clearly see what their game plan is.
Now we have the pull from the Revolution. And it floats, and it's going to come down, and Cox is going to take it in the middle. Gets it to Ames. Ames with the easy backhand. They get it to midfield quickly, and there's Carpenter with the forehand. He's got a wide open Cameron Brock for the score. How do you let him get that open?
That disc never got higher than 5 feet off the ground. That was just a bullet.
Yeah, that was a laser from Carpenter. He shows what he can do. He had Cameron Brock all the way. You'll see the replay here. He just punches that to the end zone, and Brock easily able to take that in stride. So now the score 24-11, Indy over Cincinnati. About 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, and you know, once again, they're still rolling. They're going to, you know, have an opportunity to play some younger guys here, I think, at the end of this game.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to see some of those newer players we were talking about. But this builds confidence for the whole team, you know, just going out there and executing like this makes everyone feel better about their abilities and something to build for the next game.
The Revolution with the roller, and Gorman's going to take it.
Nice trap here.
And they get the double team down. Yeah, that worked really well.
That's the ideal, obviously, place to do it on the sideline like that.
Here's Settles with the hammer.
Gorman in the middle.
Yeah, great find from Settles to Gorman.
That's obviously, that's the next problem with the double teams. You're going to leave someone in the middle, someone downfield open.
Yep, there's always a soft spot when you have a double team, and they found it. Here's Settles, the left hand over the top. Great throw. He's going to get the score.
Confident throw, and yeah, nice give go.
Yes, that was a beautiful play from him. Gets it over the top, makes the cut, and gets the score in the end zone.
But you know what? That's I haven't seen a lot of that from Cincinnati, to be honest. But that's something they've needed today.
Yeah,
to be able to get through this AlleyCats defense. Some cutesy little creative, you could call them, throws that it certainly work okay in a non-windy day like this. That's certainly not a throw they're well aware of that can't work in a windy day like the first game between these two teams were. But the Cats have been, I won't say more disciplined, but they haven't had to use those throws. They've been executing in different ways, which I think is a positive thing about their offense and their decision making.
Yep, and the Revolution going to need a few more of those as they are still doubled up here at 24-12. And the AlleyCats quickly back the other way, and they get it to midfield in no time. Carey with the forehand. He has Brock.
There's a poach there off Aaron Schwartz.
And Brock has Russ Allen on the mark, and Brock has just been wide open all day.
It looked like two Cincy Revolution went to go.
Oh,
there's
and-
a turnover.
yeah,
went to
Brock-
go deep on a deep cut from Aaron Schwartz and left Brock for the comeback cut, but there we see the Cats turnover.
He had Plu there, but he just floated on him a little bit. I think Plu unable to go up and get it. And there's immediate. That's what we were talking about earlier. An immediate turnover back from the Revolution.
Yep. And that's not an easy throw there.
Yeah, and that was
Number 6.
once again Cameron Brock just wide open. I mean, he has been wide open this entire second half. Cuts to the middle, no one near him. 2 scores, and he's had no one on him the entire
Maybe
time.
they should be listening to our broadcast.
Yeah, I think we might need to key them into the fact that he's a pretty good player. And, again, though, we say that, but the Revolution, you can tell that they're gassed at this point. I mean, game last night, been on the road for 2 days.
True. That's not an easy cover with Cameron Brock and Rick Rose out there, even when you've had a couple weeks to rest up.
Yeah, I mean, Brock, he's a marathoner, too. I mean, he is just relentless, and he never stops moving. And he's probably one of the hardest guys to mark in this league. So, no discredit to the Revolution there. There's not many people who can keep up with him to begin with. And
Well, they faced an uphill battle here to start.
yeah. So now 25-12, AlleyCats. Let's see if they can get another break. And Revolution going to see if they can prevent that. And it comes down to the near side. There's Gorman. He's got Sever. Little contact there, Sever. Creating some room for that throw. And there's North. Seems I think North he's had somebody he has Nick Hutton on him. He has been all over him today.
Yeah, that was a pretty eager bid by Hutton, but boy, he's so close to so many of those.
Yeah, we talked about Cameron Brock being relentless. Hutton is the same way. I mean, you can watch
on
him right
defense.
now.
Sure, he's a relentless is a great word.
So Sever, once that forehand, he's going to have to get the dump. He's running out of time. Gets it as high, and that
trouble.
he knew he was in trouble, and just gives it right to Carpenter.
Carpenter with a good decision to pull that one in.
Yeah, he had.
And he's got an open look here.
And there it is. There's Jacobs, and that is floating.
A little bit of an air bounce from Levi. Might come now.
And he comes down with
out of bounds.
But he was way out of bounds. Yeah, great effort. But just not in bounds. So now the AlleyCats miss that opportunity for a break. They're going to come back the other way. The Revolution, there's Hardesty.
Nice closing speed.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get that D.
And North on the ground again. He's just
fantastic grab.
Yeah, that was a great catch from North.
He's having a nice game in spite of that throw.
Yeah, he didn't have a man.
I don't know if there was someone cutting deep he saw.
Yeah, I think Sever didn't realize I think he lost it there, and he just couldn't make that cut. And Jacobs now, and he puts it on the ground.
That should be a foul
contact.
there.
Yeah, there was contact. He knew it. Yeah, it was Eddie Mack, and he knew
on
it.
Eddie Mack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Jacobs going to bring it up 10 yards, and they slap fives. And here's Hutton, the forehand. And there's Carpenter. Is he going to get this one?
Gotta land.
And he's
That's
my gosh, he's inbounds. What an amazing play from Carpenter. He saw that all the way. He knew exactly where he was on the field.
That's a Mikhail Baryshnikov footwork there from Travis Carpenter.
On the toes. Had the point shoes on for this one. Great effort by Travis Carpenter. Not able to get. They came down with that last one. He's out of bounds. This time he keeps it inbounds for the score. 26-12 AlleyCats. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Dr. John Rimple and Health Zone Chiropractic. Proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit us online at healthzonechiro.net. That's healthzonechiro.net. So, I mean, this is like the day at the beach for the AlleyCats. Beautiful weather. They are rolling. It's like they're at the beach throwing frisbees.
Yep. And it's when you get this momentum going, it's self-sustaining in a way.
Yep.
Because you're having fun out there. That's the first reason these guys are on both sides of you are playing this game, because they love it, and this is just the fun, and hopefully the audience is enjoying it as much as we are.
And sometimes you need these kind of games. Their first 2 games, like I was saying earlier, the first game, terrible weather at Cincinnati. Last game, really tough effort against Madison. And there's the D.
Great double team pressure, and Loskar finishes it off.
Loskar, he had that all the way. And here's Gross. And he puts that forehand high, and it's going to come down to the Revolution. There's Gorman.
That's the right decision there. Just didn't quite make the throw.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those throws.
Good decision by Gross, though.
Seen a couple of those throws going left to right. It floated.
It's getting away from him a little bit.
And now Gorman has it at midfield. And here we see again Revolution with those short throws.
Those are really hard to defend out here in this big, huge field. Just so much room.
There's Gorman with the forehand. He's got Colin Grandin. Grandin looking to the end zone. There's
he had the hammer cocked.
And that was a little too high. He wanted that bad and just not quite able to get it.
Yeah, Walsh there, not the best decision.
Now the AlleyCats down the other way. And it is knocked away. Good effort by Joe Moslum.
Yeah, he really wouldn't attack that.
And this might be the longest point we've seen all day.
Yeah, I don't think this is what the Cats want to start doing.
And we have a timeout from the Revolution.
Yeah, they're tired. They're both tired.
Yeah, that got a little messy. And like I said, I mean, it seems like each point has only lasted about 20 seconds, and that one rolled for a couple minutes. And these guys, they're not used to that today.
Smart decision by Ryan Gorman there, the veteran.
Yeah. So both teams going to talk it over now, and Revolution looking for a way to try and get back into this, but they are running out of time. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Visit them online at indianaultimatefoundation.com. So 2:10 to go now in the third quarter. Both teams going to talk it over. AlleyCats coming back out looking for another break opportunity. And, like I said, I mean, this is a day for stuffing the stat sheets.
Looks like Chris Jeanette looking, he's getting a chance to get in the field here. See what he can do. We'll start off with a double team. Him and Travis Carpenter will make a good fence there.
Immediately looking for the dump, and he steps through, and there's contact.
Be interesting to see how they...
they give it to the Revolution.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of stepped into
I
Travis
thought he
there.
stepped into that as well. Yeah, sure, with the muscle move, but he gets the call.
Basketball that might get called on the offense there.
He's got the double team on him right away again. He gets it over the top, and there's a good catch on the dump.
That was very good pressure.
From Sever. And sure, gets it to North. North again on the
and
run.
there's his big one. He air bounces it too, though.
Yeah.
Nick Hutton's there for the D.
And Hutton, he's got great timing on D. You just know that he's going to get that.
He knows the spot to get to, and then he has the leaps to get up.
Yep. You never see him jump too quick on those.
Mm-hmm.
You see that a lot with a lot of guys where they go up and the offensive guy's able to wait on it. And not with Hutton. There's a big forehand. Carpenter, he's got two guys down there. They're just going to
take your pick.
Yeah, take your pick. That was
daily
Peter
double.
Carlton. I'm sorry, that wasn't Carlton. That was
that Nate Page
with the score. I saw the 1. I didn't see the 5. Nate Page with the score in the end zone, and Carpenter with another smash to the end zone.
Yeah, back to Nick Hutton's D. Speaking of the position, that's really the key thing, not just jumping, but establishing position, reading the disc where it's going to go, and getting to that spot first, and then obviously having the athletic ability to get up there and grab that disc.
BE Ultimate is putting a different spin on Ultimate apparel by focusing on high-performance fabrics, quality workmanship, and rapid turnaround time. They are Ultimate players making Ultimate gear for the Ultimate community. Visit their website at beultimate.com. And we want to thank all of our sponsors for what they've done for us, allowing to put on this broadcast. And we really enjoy being able to bring this to you guys. And we have an offsides on the AlleyCats on the pole there, and that's an odd mistake to make at this point in the game. So the Revolution going to get good field position now. They take it at midfield. This is going to be Gorman. He gets it to Koo, and Danny Koo wants that forehand. He has to dump it back, and that was a nice dump. We haven't seen Koo too much today, but
No, we haven't much.
When he's been out there, he's had great energy. And there, you know, I say that, and he gets the turnover right away. And we have another injured Revolution player, and they cannot get away from the injury bug. He's down on his shoulder again.
Peter Carlton made a good play. They just kind of met in the middle there, and
we see the replay here, and this is Koo with the forehand.
Joe Moslem just went down.
Yeah, that was Moslem.
Carlton was really at the spot. Oh, are they making a call here against Carlton?
I don't know. It looked like he had that clean. I don't know if they would get a call there.
I think Carlton beat him to the spot.
Yeah.
And then they just collided. Yeah.
Yeah, the AlleyCats.
I believe that's the right call to make.
Yeah, we have a timeout from the AlleyCats now. I'm still not. So who's getting that? I didn't even see who's getting that. AlleyCats disc going the other way. Okay, some confusion
like I
there.
said, I almost always agree with the refs.
Yeah.
Almost always.
Okay, so what happened? We got our the feed from our producer Heath. There was a foul called. Revolution used the integrity rule to say there was no foul. So, you know, great sportsmanship from there. Spirit of the game. Give it back to the AlleyCats. It was a great effort by Carlton, and I think that was the right call.
That's a real class act.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting rule to the AUDL. It goes along with the main tenet of how, you know, what Ultimate's been founded on was the spirit of the game, and so that rule in the AUDL here is really kind of an extension of that. When you know a play's been called wrongly by the refs, you know they can't catch everything.
Yeah,
you, as the player, take it on yourself to reverse your own call.
Huge props to the Revolution here. I mean, they're down 27-12 here in the third quarter. You know, they could have had that disc and, you know, to make that call themselves and give it back to the AlleyCats. That just shows what kind of a team they are.
Yeah, that's good character right there.
Yeah, that's great character. Especially in a rivalry game like this, and especially after the first game, there was a lot of tension. So, you know.
More than usual, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So great call from them. Can't say enough about that. Joey Carey now gets it back to Ames. And Ames has the easy forehand to Carpenter. Carpenter, a little contact there, gets it right to Carey. A great find from Carpenter. And now here's Plew, his man's down, and he's got Carpenter. Carpenter with that great play, he gets the feed back for the score. He's going to put it up. He's going to dunk it over the goalpost. Showing off that athleticism.
Hey, if you can do it, do it.
So now the AlleyCats up. We'll see the replay. And he runs under it, and he's got
that short little comeback cut from Keenan. He's just so successful. He's so capable with that because as a defender for him, you know, you have to respect that deep cut, and you know, he can get that comeback cut all day long. He's got that low center of gravity. He's quick. He's got a heck of a motor.
Yep.
So even if it's just a 10, 15-yard gainer, you know, keep the offense moving. Really important to keep that disc moving quickly. And that's one of the things that a lot of these AlleyCats players do well.
Yeah, and, you know, excellent effort from Carpenter on that play. We see the kind of energy he has. You know, he starts it off, and he finishes it off. So Carpenter, and he goes both ways. The guy,
look at this huge pull here.
The guy is relentless
in the end zone.
That is a smash. That was.
I'm sorry. That was from yeah.
So the Revolution still in their end zone, looking for a way to get this out. And there's the hammer over the top. And that is knocked away by Rick Gross. He had a beat on that all the way, and you could see that happening. That hammer was a little too high.
He came from halfway to Cincinnati for that D.
He did. And there's Carpenter with the hammer back the other way, and his works.
Making him pay.
And Carlton gets it to Page for the score. AlleyCats up 29-12. And there is definitely some crazy bread going on today, right?
I think Rick Rose was halfway down I-74 when he saw that disc go up and came in and got it.
Yeah, so Rick Rose, a guy who we've seen go both ways today. Both him and Carpenter generally go both ways. And, you know, both of them.
Well, you can see why. You know, you can't keep those kids off the field too long.
No, I mean, both of them great efforts, back-to-back from both of them. And 2 seconds left now in the third quarter, 29-12 AlleyCats. And they are just rolling through this game.
I think Rick paid for a little bit with that, with his body there. He's just a tad gimpy, but sure he'll be able to walk that off.
I think he may
rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, I think he may have got some turf burn on his hip. We'll see if he can walk that off, though. He's a tough kid. And Hutton with another blast. And this comes down to Gorman in the end zone. He has to wait on it. And there's Schur with a smash down the field. Oh, and it's he had a man who was streaking. He had O'Brien, but it's Carpenter who takes that away and makes sure that they keep their 29-12 lead going into the fourth quarter. And we're going to take a little break here, and we'll be right back for the final quarter of action.
Hi, I'm Adam. And all my life I've been considered a pretty lucky guy.
On the house.
Ah, thanks. For starters, I get upgrades everywhere I go. And I just win things like all the time.
And the winner is this guy.
But you're not this lucky. No one is. So talk to a Farm Bureau agent today, because when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it.
So the AlleyCats have a comfortable lead, to say the least, going into the fourth quarter now. And really, the only thing that we're waiting on to see here is can they get that score up to 40.
Sure, they would like to. I'm not sure what their top score is this year. 20s against the Radicals, but getting 40 points out there. You want to spread the wealth, and everybody wants a piece of those stats.
Cameron Brock with 6 goals so far in this game, and Rick Gross with 4. Carpenter, Hutton, and Schwartz all have 3. And we're going to get some throwing stats. Cameron Brock with 4 assists. He's just killing it today. Keenan Plew with 4 assists. Levi Jacobs with 3. And a bevy of guys with 2 assists. And there are plenty of assists to go around on a day like this.
Well, if these stats are correct, the AlleyCats have scored over 30 points just twice at 30 even. So scoring 40 points would be a heck of an accomplishment for them.
So obviously the Revolution don't want that to happen. And in order to prevent that, they're going to have to put some points on the board. North now with the forehand. And this is Hardesty. Good to see him back on the field. And he's got a big hammer, and that's going to go wide.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the wind got a hold of that, I think. And
they have really had some trouble with their hammers.
Yeah, they've had a few hammers go awry. Now the AlleyCats going to take this back in on the goal line. And that is Carlton who's going to tap it in.
Carlton's always dangerous because he's got a huge forehand.
And we have a call now. Looks like there was contact on that on the goal line.
Yeah, the Revolutions, they've really gone to the hammer a bit too much, I think. The Cats have converted some shorter ones, and I think the Revolution are just getting a little more aggressive, too greedy with theirs.
And there's Hutton with a nice find down the sideline. And that's Wesley Gross.
That's the big swing.
Who had that catch. Here's Granholm.
You got to love a hammer swing.
Yep. You got to love the hammer.
One of my favorites.
And there's Gross.
Got to stay inbounds. It does
not.
not.
And he knew he didn't have a chance on that. He knocks it down. And that rode just out of bounds. Groth looking for his first score of the game. And just didn't have an opportunity there.
Groth is actually, Wesley Groth is a naval He's in the services. He's been in the this is called the quarter deck of the Navy and the medical services part for the last 3.5 years. So, Wesley, really appreciate your service.
And the Revolution throw it away. Yeah, we were wondering about that. Like, he's in the Naval Corps, but he lives in Indianapolis, and we were wondering how that worked.
It's up in I think Lake Michigan, the Great Lakes area.
So now the AlleyCats bring it back the other way. Here's Hutton with it with a big backhand. And he's got a man. This Granholm's going to run under it, and not quite in the end zone. He's going to have to tap this on the goal line. He's got Carpenter coming. And Carpenter right back to him for the score. And that was great effort by Granholm to go get that. Carpenter feeds him, and there's the payoff. And the AlleyCats get 30 to 12 with 9:41 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Granholm with a delicate one-handed catch there.
Yeah, Granholm showing his speed on that one. And there's the replay. And, like I said earlier, he's a guy who is incredibly fast. And he's somebody who can really go get it down the field. DiscStore.com is a proud supporter and sponsor of this broadcast. Pick up your next disc from DiscStore.com. DiscStore.com provides the best prices on team jerseys guaranteed. Ask about the AUDL disc count at DiscStore.com. Okay, that is a difficult thing to say, DiscStore.com. That's hard. I have to work on that.
That's why you're doing that and I'm doing this.
That's right. Anytime you want to read that, just let me know.
I'm going to take a sub.
The AlleyCats partying now. We see some bubbles floating up here in the air from the crowd. Music in the background.
It's not champagne yet, though.
No. 30 to 12, though. It's getting close. We have to say it's getting a little bit close.
Getting close to popping some corks.
The Revolution getting sloppy with the throws on the dumps, and we have a whistle.
Yeah, nearly threw that at Alex Schwartz there.
Yeah, and so
Aaron Schwartz.
Offensive foul when he went to get that, so they're going to have to mark it back 10. And this is, sorry, I thought that was Koo, but that is Xavier Payne. And he gets it to Moslum. And now we see Ian Collins on the field. Oh.
Nice little behind his body grab there.
Snatches that off the turf. Here's the forehand across the field, and that's going to be taken by Jacobs. Jacobs to Schwartz. Schwartz down the field. He's got a wide open man. And no effort there from Nick Page on that catch, and they get the score. 31 to 12. That was a great find from Schwartz.
Nate Page more open than 7-11 right there.
Yeah, when they get those Ds and they turn it around that quickly and they have a guy streaking for the end zone, it's difficult for the Revolution to cover that.
Seems like he was the forgotten one on that play.
Yep, he came from the far side. And a great find from Schwartz. Yeah, and you were just talking about this. That is the most goals ever scored by the AlleyCats at 31.
I was shocked looking for the stats that they never scored over 30 points, but yeah, it's going to be a record day.
And still 8:47 to go, so they're going to put some more points on the board, no doubt.
Yeah, the thing of that is, since he might not forget that. Next time they meet each other, you don't tend to forget those. Not that by any means the AlleyCats are running at the score here.
And I think that was Nate Page's second score in the fourth quarter. So he's getting it rolling.
Yeah.
And the Revolution back the other way. Here's Gorman. Gets it to the near side. Hardesty wanted that forehand. And he floats it again. It's over the top, and there's a turnover from the Revolution. And they just, those short throws, they just can't get those under control. And AlleyCats looking for yet another break.
And again, the Revolution passing up what might have been a decent deep look. Whether possibly the thrower isn't comfortable with that throw, but the AlleyCats have done really nice at those throws.
Yeah, and just as you say that, Loskar returns the favor.
Yeah.
And that backhand floats out of bounds. So here the Revolution going to tap it in and the double team right away, but he sneaks through it.
Before they could set up.
Yeah, that was a great play by Sever.
That was a smart play by Sever.
Mm-hmm. Here's the big strike down the field.
Possibly.
Yep, and who is it? It's Sever, and he gets it.
We thought the lacrosse goal there.
No, he's out of bounds. They said he bobbled it on the way out of bounds. Yes, and that's right. So great effort from Sever on that play, just not able to come down with that in the end. And so it's going to be the AlleyCats back the other way. And Sever is going to be on the mark.
You know, he wants that one back.
Yeah, he does.
He might have been a little bit phased by that. You know, that football goal and lacrosse goal were not too far from there.
Right, I think we all were thinking the same thing. The crowd was too.
There was a gasp from the crowd.
Yep. And here's Granholm, and he makes a great adjustment to catch that in the end zone for the score. So Granholm with his second goal now in the fourth quarter, and puts the AlleyCats up 32-12, and they are up 20. Don't just hope you're covered. When it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today. Visit infarmbureau.com for a free auto quote or to find your local Indianapolis area agent. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, stop knocking on wood.
Great throw by Hutton there. Just confident. He was really in rhythm, in motion after he came down with the catch, and here we see it again.
Yeah, that big backhand just streaks it out there.
Granholm's just ripping down there. That's an easy pitch and catch right there.
Yeah, and Granholm, that was trying to work back over his shoulder, and he makes a great adjustment to get that for the score. So now we have Keenan Plew with the pull. And he gets a nice
pump. Not a usual puller, but see if it ends in bounds. Yeah. I don't think he'll be fired for that.
No, definitely not. And that was Jeffries who took it, and I finally getting his name right. It only took me 4 quarters.
Hey, better late than never, right?
That's right. Always looking to improve here on this broadcast. And we have contact from the AlleyCats now. And they're going to mark this closer to midfield, about halfway to midfield, and there's Granholm. He swings the backhand out, and it's going to be contested. And that was Schwartz, and there was contact there, but it flowed. I don't think he had a chance at that.
No, not the best throw there.
So even though there was contact, no call. And now Schwartz back the other way. Makes a nice adjustment. He's got his man in the end zone. Great catch. And that's Cameron Brock, of course. Who else? So now the AlleyCats up 33-12. And that's Cameron Brock's 7th goal of the game. You see the replay. Here's Schwartz and Brock towing the line to get that. Perfect
timing.
In
by a good foot there.
Yeah, perfect timing. And Brock's a guy who always knows where he is on the field.
He knows how to work that sideline.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Dr. John Rimple and Health Zone Chiropractic. Proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit us online at healthzonechiro.net. That's healthzonechiro.net. About halfway through the fourth quarter now, and AlleyCats just looking to pad that record score. And here's the pull from the AlleyCats. And Revolution just trying to make some effort to work it down the field now at this point.
Gorman's actually getting a break here. He's been an Iron Man. He's been out on most of the Revolution O points.
Yeah, and that was Kendrick Pennington. This is the first time we've seen him today. And so the Revolution with some of their younger guys in, and the AlleyCats looking for the break. And that was Pennington with a nice D that time, and he has to call timeout, though. He hits that turf, and he's down. And it's another arm injury.
Tough throw there. It looked like a push pass from Wesley.
Yeah, and he put that into a pretty good amount of traffic. And it was Pennington who was able to break that up.
Thinking he's going to want that one back.
Yeah, Pennington, this is a great effort from him. He had that turnover, and you can see him. He comes back all the way down the field and makes an effort there.
It's a heck of a D.
Yeah, it was a great D from him. And
Brock
hopefully
was not
he's
expecting
okay.
that closing speed.
Yeah, he's got his arms up over his head, and hopefully he's okay. And he can walk this off. He gets an opportunity to play today because of the score, and he immediately gets injured. So Koo now gets the forehand. Dangerous throw, and that was a great catch from Schur all the way down close to their end zone. Have to make an effort for a dump like that.
See, here's where they pull that one down, but that's some of those hammers that have been giving them trouble.
Yeah, they float that one, but they get lucky that time a little bit. That was mistimed by Groth. And now looking to take
Travis.
Yeah, Travis does not mistime that one.
Travis Master Carpenter taking care of business.
Yeah, Travis Carpenter with the D, and that's a good call. He has been the master today. And now they're ping-ponging it down the far sideline. They get it across midfield.
Smart decision there by Levi to look off Travis Carpenter, streaking on the sideline, and he comes back for an even easier one.
Bookends from Travis Carpenter for the score. AlleyCats now 34-12 with 5 minutes to go, and I'm not sure if the Revolution have scored yet in this fourth quarter. If they have, it's maybe 1 goal. But they are, at this point, getting run over. All credit to them. They've put in an effort here, but this has been a long day for the Revolution. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Visit them online at indianaultimatefoundation.com. So now Hutton with the pump. Looks like this is going to come down, and he does stay in bounds. And another amazing pull from Hutton. And the AlleyCats in cruise control. And they come down on D. There's Granholm looking to get that D, and that was just that was Sever, I think. Unable to come up with that. Granholm takes it. There's Zebarth. Zebarth back to Hutton. Hutton to the end zone, towing the line. That's Colin Ringwood for the score. Nice find from Hutton.
And you can tell Cincinnati right now is kind of on their heels a little bit on defense. This task of playing with Chicago and Indianapolis within their short time frame is starting to finally weigh on them.
Yeah, they're just getting rolled up today. This is one of those days for them. I had a rough night, I think, last night in Chicago. Come down here. They spent the night in Chicago, had to drive up here today. Got here about an hour before the game and had to warm up. And, they have several guys who've taken injuries. Even today, they had guys that were missing already. We can see DVE, David Valentine Elam, former AlleyCats player, he's got a sling on his arm from an injury he had last night. They're just.
And he's a very important O player for them.
That's right. One of their handlers, one of their guys who controls the offense, and they've just been run over today. And once again, the AlleyCats put the roller down, but they are offsides, and that's the second time in this half that they've had that penalty. So the Revolution going to take this at midfield again and see if they can get something going.
Well, at least Coach Payne will have something to get on them for in the locker room afterwards.
That's right. Yeah, he's not going to say anything at all about the fact that they're tripling the score of the opposing team.
You don't want to be too nice to your team.
No, but it's going to be all about those offsides calls.
Nice, somewhat dangerous bid there, but I think Isaac Jeffries may have gotten a piece of that.
And Samson put that up.
Delivery.
Put that up, and there were about 12 guys there waiting for it when it came down, and it's the Revolution who are going to get it. And we have another call.
You like to see that bid from Jeffries there. He's really. These guys aren't quitting.
Yeah, and they had to
go out there making bids.
Had to get a new disc. And Schurer now with the backhand. There's a big backhand down the field to no one. And, we talked about them. They needed to make some strikes, but those just haven't worked out here in the second half.
Yeah, just too much of a line drive. Never gave the receiver a chance to get underneath that.
So here's Jacobs, gets it in. There's Loskar with the forehand. He puts it on the ground.
I think it's a combination of, what we're seeing here today, a combination of maybe just better team speed overall with the Cats, but, a big part of that is the fatigue factor on the part of the Revolution.
So I think some confusion there. I'm not sure if Carey thought that hit the ground. He thought he had that, but it's called a turf disc. And there's the score right back from the Revolution. That's Isaac Jeffries, and he's holding on to that like it's a gift. And on a day like this today, 35-13, that is a gift. You see the replay now. So we're getting word from our producer that there is the War for 74 bucket. I think we're going to show it here on the side. There it is. That I'm not sure if you can really call that a bucket, but it's it's the team that wins the season series between these two teams takes that bucket home, and the AlleyCats have won it both years. You can see there it says War of 74. And for those who don't know, I'm sure everybody here does know, but it's Interstate 74 that connects the Indianapolis and Cincinnati. So the bucket goes to the team that wins the series. And right now, I'm thinking the AlleyCats probably are going to have a fairly good chance of pulling that home.
I'm not going to take any bets on them not. But yeah, that ensures them a little bit of bragging rights, which is always fun with the Cincinnati, the proximity of these two cities.
Yeah, a little bit of trivia here. There were 18, and there's a huge huck from Plu, and that's going to go out of bounds. He had Brock all the way, but it just floats, and like I said, we've seen that happen a few times going left to right. But there were 8 teams that originally started in the AUDL in 2012, and only 3 of them are left, and 2 of them are on the field right in front of us. So these teams have a lot of history, and I think they are closer proximity-wise, geographically, than any other teams in the AUDL, so there's obvious room for a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
But, the AlleyCats taking care of business today. Revolution just not able to keep up on a day like this. Right now, here's Danny Koo. Has it at midfield, has to make the dump.
Yeah, key for their coach, Mike Walsh. He just wants to see some good points made and try to cut down on these turnovers. They got lucky there.
Yeah, that went through about 3 Revolution players before Pennington came down with it.
At some point, it's just hard to clean up the sloppiness.
And they get in for the score, and that's Russ Allen with the goal for the Revolution.
That was a nice throw.
Yeah, I'm going to say sure meant
by
to do
CJ
that.
O'Brien, I think.
We see on the replay now. Yeah, that's O'Brien with it. He gets that forehand nice and smooth to the goal line.
And a great cut, by Russ Allen.
Yeah, that was a great cut. Zebarth, he was right there, but perfectly placed forehand from O'Brien for the score. And that gives the Revolution 14. Unfortunately, they are still down 21. So under 2 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. The AlleyCats just rolling, looking to finish this game out strong.
Yeah, it's certainly been a good day for them. They're going to end this on a high note. Maybe get another 1 or 2, add to their all-time total goals scored.
Yeah, and they didn't make it to 40, but, you can't complain about that too much. Here's Samson.
Not too much to pick on after this performance.
No, there's really
I'm
not.
sure coaches Payne and Shepard will find something.
So we have contact. Sun's going to step it off. And quickly with the forehand, he's got Page. Page at midfield. He wanted that backhand. He's got Jacobs. Great bid from Jeffries. And there's, oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
And Keenan Plu unable to come down with that. Had it on the run. You won't see that too often from him.
A little bit of hyzer on that disc, a little bit of angle. I don't think maybe Keenan wasn't quite ready for it. It was coming in there pretty hot, too.
That was cutting in really hard. I don't think you could quite see it from this angle.
He could have. You're right. It looks like the angle of the sun there is right in their face. In fact, it is straight in their face.
Yeah, that's right. So, we're going to make some excuses for Plu.
You're seeing these long shadows now, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, you can tell from the shadows on the field that sun is coming right down on it. It's about that time of day. And Carpenter put that forehand up, and he puts his hands. He had his face in his hands before.
Right away. Yeah, he knew that was.
He knew when he threw that was going to be a little bit fading to the outside.
So not showing the master carpenter skills there as much.
No, but he's had a great day today. So
can't make every play, can he?
We're not going to hold that against him.
No.
The AlleyCats finally finding time to get a little sloppy here with 30 seconds to go. We're gonna call. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a timeout from the Revolution. I wasn't sure what happened there. Revolution called a timeout with 30 seconds to go. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe they want to get some young guys on the field.
Sometimes we'll call a kind of play like here where it's not necessary, but they might have a play they want to practice and get some experience with. end of game sort of situation, almost like a 2-minute offense that people like to practice and drill for down the road purposes.
Yeah, that's true. Even in a game like this, a day like this, anytime you can get these guys together on the field, it's a great opportunity to work on things. So
right, there's no substitution for game experience.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The AlleyCats still with quite a few of their starters out there on the field. You see Hutton, Ringwood, Jacobs, Loskar, and there's Page and Carlton on the mark on the double team. And they've used that double team quite a bit today, and those two guys,
like it.
They have good size. I mean, look at those are some big boys.
Well, the Cats are certainly bigger than they used to be. That's going to get munched up by Loskar.
They've always been a team that's dependent on speed, and now they're getting a little bit of size, and you can see there that really had an effect. Ringwood with it, dumps it back. And he wants that hammer.
On that away side, Levi Jacobs comes through.
Yeah, and there's the contact.
A little late on the cuts coming to that side, it looks like, for the Cats.
13 seconds to go. AlleyCats looking for one final score. And there's the turnover.
Yeah. See, they were guarding that foreside pretty hard there. And they were giving cushion away to the break side, but...
1 second to go. Here's the big backhand down the field. And it is knocked away. And that will be your final score. 35-14. Indianapolis AlleyCats with a record number of points today.
It's an impressive win.
They came out from the start and just put it on the Revolution.
So ended the next battle, the last battle, for the battle for 74.
Okay, so that being the end of the game, we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come back with some stats.
Hi, I'm Adam. And all my life, I've been considered a pretty lucky guy.
On the house.
Ah, thanks. For starters, I get upgrades everywhere I go. And I just win things, like, all the time.
And the winner is this guy.
But you're not this lucky. No one is. So talk to a Farm Bureau agent today, because when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it.
So we're back with you now. Once again, AlleyCats win this game against the Revolution 35-14. Got some stats here for you. Cameron Brock with 7 goals. Travis Carpenter with 4. Granholm had a nice second half with 4 goals. Rick Gross with 4 as well. Nick Hutton with 3 goals. Nate Page with 3. Schwartz with 3. Joey Carey with 2. Keenan Plew with 2. A little bit of a quiet game from Keenan today.
Yeah, not as much as prolific as he's used to.
Levi Jacobs with 1, Ringwood with 1, and Zebart with 1.
It's tough on a day like this when so many people are playing so well that, I'm sure Keenan's happy to give up some stats to his teammates.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, in a day like this when a veteran player like him doesn't have to work that hard, that's not a bad thing. Cameron Brock with 4 assists. Levi Jacobs with 4. Keenan Plew with 4 assists. We just mentioned that, but he did have a good day throwing. Travis Carpenter with 3, Nick Hutton with 3, Schwartz with 3, Michael Ames with 2, Joey Carey with 2, Peter Carlton with 2, Nate Page with 2, Granholm with 2, that's Dana Granholm with 1, Rick Gross with 1, Spencer Loskar Colin Ringwood, Sam Sun, and Zach Zebart all with one as well.
Looks like Keenan ended up with his MVP trophy with a very cute puppy. So the new Cats, I think they got the wrong type animal, though, to be their mascot there. Very high cute factor, though.
Okay, now let's take a look at our friction catch of the game. This is going to be Hutton. Nick Hutton with the layout catch for the score. He gets it from Loskar, and yeah, this was an obvious choice. That is just an amazing effort from Hutton to go
like they
get
threw
that.
it up that way.
Yep, that was beautiful. And, you know, he had a great highlight last week. He puts it, gets 30 for the score again this week and has another one. And that was our friction catch of the game. Friction gloves help your throws and catches in all conditions. To find out more information and get a pair, visit frictiongloves.com. So we have a few thank yous here today. Obviously, the first people we want to thank are the people who helped put this on, and that would be our producer, Heath Shanahan, and the gentleman working our cameras today, doing a great job as always, John Abraham and J.C. Swartling. We would also like to thank our sponsors, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Stop Knocking on Wood, Health Zone Chiropractic, enter the zone of peak performance and all-around great health, DiscStore.com, offering the best service and best price on ultimate gear guaranteed, Friction Gloves, helping your throws and catches in all conditions, Indiana Ultimate Foundation, supporting Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana, BE Ultimate players making the ultimate gear for the ultimate community. And, of course, the Indianapolis AlleyCats. I also want to thank Steve Lacrosse, our man who joined us in the booth today. First time ever. I thought you did an amazing job.
Thank you, Brett. I really appreciate that. It was a fun opportunity for me, and enjoyed it very much.
And I'm Bird Phillips, and we hope you can join us for our next game next week. And we are signing off for today. And that is all from Ron Colley Stadium on the south side of Indianapolis. Great game from the Indy AlleyCats. They improved their record to 2-1 and get a record number of points today. And, you know, you couldn't want anything better than that. Our next broadcast, join us next Saturday as the AlleyCats take on visiting Minnesota Wind Chill right here on UniversePointProductions.com. Thank you, and we will see you next week.